Right, let's get into it.
We bought into a franchise that failed us.
After payroll, I'm left with literally $800 or $900 left in the bank account.
You are going to be paying more taxes than you have ever paid in your life.
I started my business a little bit over a year ago, and I have made 0 sales.
Made $0.
I spent $3,500 on this vending machine, and it is not making me any money.
At least with a 9-to-5, you're getting a paycheck no matter what. I work most of the time for free.
A lot of people say they want to be a business owner. They want to be an entrepreneur. But these are just some of the downsides to running your own business. And comment down below if you run your own or if you aspire to be a business owner.
Hey, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Ajax Production. I am your host, Aniola Ajax, and we are back with another amazing video. Today is a special day, and we're gonna be doing some reactions before we get into our big project this weekend. So I wanted to get this out the way, you know what I mean? Since I do have a day off from work. Today is Friday, so usually I'm at work this time. But today, because the office is shut down due to maintenance issues, we have this opportunity to shoot this episode. So because I'm about to eat lunch, right? I'm eating lunch from Allow Guys, one of my favorite spots to get some good food, some good healthy rice, meat, bread in one bowl. I tried to, take advantage of that opportunity to also react to some videos. I'm gonna watch, content anyways while I'm eating. So why don't I watch it with y'all? You know what I mean? I record it for, content's sake. So today we have a special episode today. So I was scrolling through YouTube, right? And I saw a video of a young lady who was, reacting to the state of entrepreneurship right now, right? We all know entrepreneurship is very hard, and a lot of people go into it without the right mindset already, in going into it, right? These are people that maybe they are very good at their jobs, they have a good job, and they want more for themselves, and it's like they jump into it without having the right structure to get into it. Because entrepreneurship, when you're starting off, right, you're starting off with nothing. You're starting off with no followers, no clients, no experience. You see what I mean? So you're learning a lot, and there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road while you're trying to get to where you want to get to. And a lot of people don't put this in perspective while they plan for their business. They kind of just jump into it and then realize that, oh shoot, it's not as rosy as it's preached on the internet. It's not as smooth. Yes, maybe for that person, they recorded at the point where they are successful now. You see what I mean? But they didn't tell you that before they got successful, to understand the process, the systems, the locations, of where to put your store, saving money and putting money aside for any moment emergencies. It's part of the process of understanding how to run a business. So let's get into this video and let's see what this young lady says about this situation. And let's see if there's something we can learn from this and how we can implement this into our own business as well.
It's been 9 weeks since we lost it all. The franchise, the storefront, and the drain. 3 years ago, we invested everything that we own. We picked up and moved across country, and we bought into a franchise that failed us. And we're here to talk about it. For those that don't know, I was a franchisee, which means I didn't own the entire company. I owned one location. Let me start off by saying we are not new to this. We have over 20 years experience as entrepreneurs. We did our research, we followed the rules, we trusted the process. We fought to stay open. We tried everything, but there was no support from the people that we bought into their brand and their business, people who sold us this dream. We were stuck, and closing, that just wasn't a business decision. This was personal, and it hurt.
The first thing that kind of sticks out to me is the fact that she was saying they invested everything they had into this business, which honestly sounds like a lot of entrepreneurs. They do the same thing. And I think a lot of business owners can be very hard on themselves if their business fails.
Right.
She was in the game for 20 years,
right,
which is definitely something to be very proud of. But did you know more than 1 in 5 U.S. businesses fail within their first year? And this is according to the latest U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics data. More precisely, according to this Lending Tree article, 21.5% of private sector businesses in the U.S. fail within the first year. And that's already a really high number, but it gets even worse, y'all. After 5 years.
Yes, and this is because, like I said, business is really difficult. That's why it's not encouraged for everybody to go into. At first, I used to be like mad about it. Like, why don't they teach this in school? Why don't they teach this in school? Because it's hard. And that means, if it's hard, that means if you want to learn it, it's something that you have to personally want to get into. So, I mean, so same thing with business, right? If you understand that most businesses fail in the first year, it's because it's difficult to turn profit in the first year. It takes 5 years to actually mature, because like a business is a baby, right? And that business has to walk, has to crawl, has to eat, and that baby wants to eat everything. And you gotta put your all into it. That's why a lot of kids that start at a young age, that just dump all their bread, like someone like Mr. Beast, that literally invested everything into his business. He did it at a young age when he didn't have that much responsibilities and bills, right? That's what it takes, because you're gonna lose money initially until it turns profit. And it turning profit is you learning the bumps that you have to get over to understand the business that you're in. And it might fail and you might close it. It is what it is. But yes, it is what it is.
58.4% have faltered, and if you're lucky enough to even make it to 10 years, 65% have closed. But from what she was saying, she runs a franchise with somebody that she partnered with, and unfortunately, it sounds like they had a falling out. This is something very common in business. And unfortunately for her, that means that she had to close down her business. Now, I'm going to see what the comments say. All right, the first comment here says, most franchises are a pyramid scheme. Even Chick-fil-A? Another comment here says, owning a franchise was the worst decision of my life. A scam, really? What's going on? And I need to know names. And this comment here says, rule number 1. Never invest everything you own into anything. And I actually think that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Here, owner of Kaisen Sushi. It's 11:46 in the evening on Tuesday, my off day. I just finished payroll. That costed $8,321 for last week. I pay my guys every week before Friday, no matter what. I just paid a bunch of bills. And this photo you're seeing on this screen is what my bank accounts look like right now. I made payroll. I paid about $3,500 in bills so far. And there's another $1,700 that's still gonna get drawn tomorrow. So my actual business account's probably gonna be around $1,700. I still have probably $400 worth of wasabi to pay for before the end of the week, and still have to buy produce for the week. I have to buy some more sushi trays, and I have to make an emergency order for custom bags from China before the end of the week. Now, a little bit more money is gonna trickle in, maybe $2,000 or $3,000 more dollars before Thursday, and this is what it's like to have a successful new ghost kitchen restaurant with the concept that we're running.
Wow, he's running a ghost kitchen. And for those of y'all who don't know what a ghost kitchen is, according to USA Today, a ghost kitchen, also known as a dark kitchen.
So I do DoorDash, right? And a ghost kitchen is one of those kitchens that basically ran outside. Like, they're not publicly seen, you know what I mean? It's like someone like rent a warehouse or something, and they will run that kitchen through that warehouse or do a partnership gathering. So, for example, as a DoorDasher, right, I'll get an order from this weird looking warehouse looking place, go there, and apparently they run multiple businesses through there. They have multiple operations, and it's crazy. But let's see her polish the definition of what this is.
Or a cloud kitchen is a digital-only restaurant that is available only on food delivery apps like Postmates, Uber Eats, or Grubhub. And these kitchens only offer food items.
You forget DoorDash. They're not really popular with DoorDash, but they're there. They're sprinkled in there. I know in my mind, I know 2 solid locations.
And drinks from online brands, cutting out the storefront and human interaction of traditional eateries.
Right.
I know a lot of y'all are like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be my own boss. I don't like working a 9-to-5. Don't like anyone telling me what to do. Well, after he's paid his employees, from what we're looking at right now, he has $3,451. Not bad. Might be a few more things coming out though. Now I want you to ask yourself, is this what you expected for him to be saying he's making after paying his employees and paying all of his business expenses? Because I think a lot of people don't consider those things when they go into business. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna be my own boss. But this is the reality. And I actually appreciate him being so transparent and honest.
There's probably going to be some trolls who say you're just not charging enough or blah, blah, blah. Or some people will rightly say you're not charging enough. Right now, my motivations and my priorities are just to get new customers in the door. And the hope is that at least 30 to 40% of them become lifelong customers in the long run. So yeah, this is what it's like. And the numbers are always scary every week. It's only been 11 days so far for this month, and we're actually doing pretty good because normally by the end of today or after payroll, I'm left with literally hundreds, maybe only like $800 or $900 left in the bank account. Now, to be honest with you, I have no problem fully disclosing my numbers because there are so many restaurants in Houston that are completely full. And I hate watching them just put up this ridiculous front, take up air and space that could be filled by better restaurants and better food and better people. Honestly, this industry is full of really bad people. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, the only reason I am scared to show screenshots of my bank account is because it's really hard to date when you show people exactly what your bank account looks like.
I was not expecting that. That was the last thing I thought he was about to say. Good luck to you, sir. You know, because everybody needs love. Let me stay on topic. But apparently, he said the competition is already swift out here. People want a man that make a lot of money. He ain't got it like that right now, y'all. Calm tight down. I hope he finds somebody that's able to stay down until he comes up. And that's the problem with people right now. They want to come when everything is all ready. You got your life all put together, and they want to come in and reap all the benefits. It's like, where was you at when I was shooting at the gym? And in his case, where was you at when he was water whipping?
And the size of my bank account matters to the people I've been trying to go on dates with. Anyway. The bills got paid this week. We're going to have a great week. Thanks to all of your support. And I'm going to try to get some sleep now and, do it all over again tomorrow.
And the thing about his story that's very interesting is this is a very good week for him, or a good pay period, I would say. And one of the realities and the dark side of owning a business is sometimes you are unprofitable. It takes some people years to be profitable, year after year, or month after month even. But the way that entrepreneurship and owning a business is so glamorized online, a lot of people don't think that, or maybe they don't know that. They think as soon as you open this business, the money's about to start rolling in.
Wow.
How that does happen for a lot of people.
No, it doesn't.
Just that.
It doesn't. 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 There's too many variables of what could have happened before that person figured out what they need to figure out to make it pop. You see what I mean? It might not been as long as the others or others, but everybody has a learning process, a learning strategy, or maybe extra support, a mentor, family member that will help you. You know what I mean? They'll invest in you and they'll guide you to success. Unless you have those, there's very, very high potential of failure. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. It's part of the game.
On how much small businesses or businesses fail, and you got to ask yourself, what do you think is the reason they're failing? When most people aren't seeing money coming in and they have real life bills, that's probably the reason why. And I hope it continues to climb every month. I need to see some of these comments. This comment here says, everybody screams, be an entrepreneur. Nobody talks about this side. And that's why we're talking about it, because this is real life. Somebody here said, being able to pay employees is the real flex. Keep going. Do you guys know how hard it is to pay people? That's a whole nother pressure. And I'm speaking from experience. That is a whole nother pressure. When you know somebody else's livelihood literally depends on you doing your job or you running that business, and it's an amazing thing. But one thing I want to point out is this man right here and all business owners get paid last, y'all. They get paid after they pay the employee. And sometimes that means that you ain't getting paid. You might walk away with $1,000. Results may vary. Depends on the business. But it is a flex that he's able to pay his employees. And I know what a lot of y'all thinking. He could do that work for the $8,000 himself. In the restaurant business, you got cooks, you got waiters, you got the people in the front that greet people, and he is one man. And that's what a lot of business owners are dealing with. You simply need help in some businesses in order to grow, in order to give good customer service. And I say hats off to him. And somebody here says owning a business is rough, man. I completely understand, and it can be. Definitely has its pros and its cons. And I think this is something that people really need to consider before they go into business, because it's not for everybody. And I don't say that to be mean. I'm saying that to be realistic. One of the things I think a lot of people do is they go into business for things that they're passionate about, or perhaps they're even good at, which is great if you like what you're going into business for, don't get me wrong. But just because you're good at something, in my opinion, doesn't mean that you should have a business. There's so much that goes into a business. There's a lot of paperwork. You got to make sure you're running legally. You got to think about bookkeeping, record keeping, receipt keeping, making sure that you're operating within a budget. Not only do you have to budget your own personal life and your own finances, you have to budget the finances of your business, because how else would you know if you are turning a profit or not? There's so much stuff going on the admin side of running a business that when some people create a business, that's the reason why they left. It's not because they're not good at what they do. It's because of the paperwork. For example, you may want to run a food truck. You might be the best in your area, right? But if you suck with people, if you're not open to learning new systems and things that you don't know because you've never been a business owner before and you have a lot to learn, and you just think it's as easy as just selling plate out the truck, you ain't gonna be in business very long. You have to have licenses to sell food. You gotta pass health inspections, stuff like that. There will be health inspectors coming to see the facility you're selling the food out of and give you a grade, which means you have a standard to upkeep. And if you don't know the standard, too bad. It's time to learn. And if you're not willing to learn,
Yep. There's a lot of details. There's a lot of details. And I feel like that's what also steers people away from starting one, because it's like when you get to thinking about how many things you gotta do to even play legally, you be like, oh my god, let's put that to the side. So that's, I mean, me personally, I just dive in, you know what I mean? Like, dive in, let's play, you know what I mean? Like, we'll crash and burn and we'll figure it out as we go. But let's keep going.
how is your business going to flourish? Or maybe you can just pay somebody for all that. But it takes money for somebody to come in with the expertise on all these things. Do you have money? Are you willing to be partnered up with somebody who has the expertise? Have you even considered what that might look like? What would be the split? How much are they taking on? There's a lot of questions to ask when it comes to business. And I wanted to read one more comment, because I wanted people to really understand how rough it can be for entrepreneurs. Because social media got a lot of y'all thinking, oh, be my own boss. Stuff is sweet. And it may be for a lot of people. I'm not saying it doesn't have its upsides, but I want to read this. It says, dude, you survived payroll. That's huge. It took me 3 years, y'all, to make a profit in my first business. Suffering is part of the journey. It adds that additional layer of callous. I love how you're thinking of customer lifetime value. That's where the success lies. And I want y'all to comment down below. How long as a business owner would you give your business to become profitable and start making you money before you said, I can't do it no more?
Everybody on opening up their own business just for a couple minutes. I've heard so many people, like within these last few years, like since COVID, want to open up a business, right? They want to get out of the matrix. They want to stop working at 9 to 5, work for companies, or work for
other buzzwords.
I get it. I totally get it. But like coming from someone who's owned a business for 6 years, like let me just de-influence you and like tell you the reality of things. You are going to be paying more taxes than you have ever paid in your life when you own this whole business.
She's not lying. I never knew. I understand now. Taxes is a crazy time of year. I used to look forward to taxes. Not no more.
OJ Consult Financial Services. We don't just file your taxes. We help you build financial confidence for life. From tax planning and bookkeeping to business consulting and payroll, our experts make sure your money works smarter, not harder. Whether you're an individual, small business, or corporation, we've got the personalized strategies and experience you can trust. This tax season, and every season, partner with OJ Consult Financial Services. Visit us today at www.ojconsultfin.com or stop by our office at 10333. Harwin Drive, Suite 677, Houston, Texas 77036. You can also call 804-566-6-1858 or email oj.consult@yahoo.com to schedule your free consultation. OJ Consult Financial Services. Your money smarter, your future brighter.
Have things in rules, legal actions that you have to apply to your business to be a legitimately small business or in any business. Getting out of the government and the scheme of all things, you're actually more embedded into it than you ever will before.
And I agree with that because there's so much you don't know, but you have to figure it out when you own a business. And a lot of people really do feel like, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. And it's like, no. You have to do certain things a certain way when you're operating within a business. You essentially just gave yourself a job, a new path, if you will. Did you?
I mean, it's the ultimate job, right? It's the ultimate job, but the only problem about this job is that you have multiple jobs. It's not just whatever your boss tells you to do that you do. Now you gotta figure out how to bring customers in, serve the customers, bring more customers in, serve the customers, get funded so you can bring more customers in, do the experience so that so the customers can ride so they can come back again, and do that over and over again. And yes, in the beginning you don't know what you're doing, so you're gonna suck and you're gonna crash and burn, but you're gonna learn. And if you learn, you're gonna rise up the ashes and become a phoenix type shit.
Let's learn. And you're going to mess up. You're going to forget things. There's going to be things you're like, how was I supposed to know that? You're not going to know. But guess what? It's like you're expected to know or just figure it out. Because you wanted to be a business owner. Remember? You wanted to be your own boss and figure everything out. You didn't want nobody telling you what to do. And there's not going to be nobody telling you what to do. You can fall flat on your face. Your business can fail and nobody is going to care. I'm just being honest. You got to learn about taxes, Schedule C's. You're going to be in there trying to figure out tax code, the tax laws. You're going to be trying to find a good CPA so you can get deductions and all sorts of stuff that you never had to worry about before because you were working at a company that did all that stuff. You just never even had to think about it. You essentially just became a similar entity to that company that was doing all those things that you didn't even have to consider. You didn't have to worry about healthcare for your employees, 401k,
right,
payroll. You didn't have to think about it. You just showed up to work. You said, hey, I get paid on the 1st and the 5th. Give me my check. You didn't have to worry about how that was getting paid out, what system to use to pay people that out. You didn't have to worry about it. Didn't have to worry about business insurance. There is so much that goes into it.
Business insurance. Sales license.
The money that you're getting in for the business, you're putting back into it.
Yeah.
It's just a cycle.
The more you make, more money. But you also must pay Uncle Sam because the IRS don't play about their taxes. And which is why I said you're going to have to learn how to play this game. And I know a lot of people have a disdain for bigger corporations, which, trust me, I can understand. But I also want to tell you guys this. Smaller businesses are also trying to figure out how to play the game too, because you have to. When you become a business owner, if you don't try to figure out how to play this game of running a business, being profitable, not paying all the money back to the IRS because you don't know how to do bookkeeping and stuff like that, if you don't, the only one that's going to hurt is you and your business. So you're forced to either get with it or literally get lost. And I'm only saying this because I can think of somebody who opened a coffee shop, right? And they're like, I'm free from the Matrix. No.
Like, you got to the ultimate Matrix.
On a chessboard, if you get what I mean. You might have been like the pawn before, and now you're the duke. Now you're the bishop. You see what I'm saying?
And then, every year, there's enough. And then you also have to pay for insurance for your business and your building and work insurance to your people, for your employees. If you have, you should have employees, because doing it all by yourself, you will be extremely exhausted and burnt out, like your girl here. So having employees is almost not realistic. There's that one, because you pay your employees, which they could be 16 to 25, more than you pay yourself.
I mean, you have to see the last guy combined for what he was paying out for his employees. I mean, we seen the numbers, and that was a good month.
So I don't know, guys. You tell me what's best.
Okay, This comment right here really stands out to me. It says, there's a certain luxury in being able to clock out of a job and go home and not think about it. And I love this comment here so much because when you own a business, there is no clocking out.
Right.
You are on the clock 24/7.
Right.
And if you don't want to be the boss, nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. And there's also nothing wrong with
there's moments where you just feel like, damn, I wish I could just shut my brain off and just sit out later and do nothing. But I gotta get ready because I gotta feed myself, I gotta take care of myself, I gotta feed this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Oh my gosh. So when is their rest time? Never. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
an entrepreneur in running a business. I just think that people need to be informed about what that means, what that really can look like, not this glamorized version of whatever social media and TikTok and Instagram is showing people. And the creator underneath even says, I'll never take that for granted again. And it's probably one of those things like you didn't really know what you had till you was going. And I can totally understand. I totally understand.
I've been Amazon FBA seller and I got completely wrecked because of Halloween returns. Let me preface this by saying I don't sell Halloween costumes or anything related to Halloween.
Bro, you know, he just reminded me of something I did. I think a couple of years ago. I opened a Shopify account, put some products on there, very high ticket products, thinking I'm gonna make a profit. Someone purchases these products, 2 of them, $400 to $500 worth of products, and then charged back. I sent this product, I just charged it back. What do you want me to do about that? Oh my, hey yo, it's tough out here. I'm telling you, it's tough out here.
And the reason why I noticed is because on average, I have around a 6% return rate. And in the beginning of November, we're 6 days in right now, it quickly shot up to like 20% return rate. And I started freaking out. And here's proof. Like you can see, I've sold right around 400 or 283 of these actual units, and I got 66 returns. That's like a 25% return rate. Because I'm terrible at math, it might be a little bit more. And then I noticed that frequently bought together on Amazon was my product, and now some bunny ears, and now some long sleeve cotton sweatshirt for girls. So I was somebody's Halloween costume. And now that Halloween is over, I get all of these returns. 25% return rate.
Well, I'm gassed. Not the name causing, but this is a valid complaint for a lot of businesses. It has to be worse for people who have an Amazon business or some sort of storefront, maybe even Etsy, where you ship out something, somebody gets it, they're like, oh, I don't like this. Or like he said, something was seasonal and they're looking at that return policy. And his product served a good purpose, I'm sure. But a lot of customers do this because they really didn't want to pay that money. They didn't want to keep your product, even though it may be good for something. The first comment says, 40K net profit, you'll be okay. Is that what it was? That wasn't what I saw. And somebody here is saying, honestly, I return most of my Amazon things now. Most of the vendors are selling bad quality items now. It's rare when I order something and it's a good product. Now, returning a product because it's just not the quality you expected is a whole another story. But returning it because you used it up for your own use cases, it served its purpose, and then you just gonna send it back to the seller, it's kind of messed up. But this is something that business owners have to deal with. Actually a pretty good reply because it says, I ordered a Halloween costume on Monday and it said it would be here on Thursday, but it didn't arrive until Sunday. So yeah, it got sent back. So it didn't get there when you needed it to be there, and then Halloween was already over. You know what? That makes sense too. But if they just got the item on time, used it for that one night and sent it back, that's kind of messed up. For him, because he's trying to make money, y'all. And is he making some good money on here? I'm trying to see. Estimated payout, $29,000. On game. After seeing that,
I started my business a little bit over a year ago, and I have made
He's doing good for himself.
freaking life. To say out loud, this isn't for a lack of trying. I have done everything in my power to try to market. I put it on different platforms. I tried it on here, on my other account. But no matter what I do, every video that I push out gets max like 100 views. If it's anything to do with my small business, it like face plants. It's been extremely, extremely defeating to the point where I've questioned whether I'm supposed to be doing this or not. But I know deep in my heart that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that what I made and what I'm making is out there for somebody. I just need to find that somebody. I don't know where you are, but I made this product for myself because I needed it. And I know there's others out there like me who also could benefit from it. So I'm not giving up. I'm starting over.
Now, I just want to know, after a year, even if you were as passionate as she is, would you have given up? She made no sales. She didn't say 2 to 3, 10. She said no sales. What would you do? Because even if you made your LLC and did all of that, at this point, you just lost a lot of money. You see what I mean? Because you haven't made anything. And I do hope she does, but I really think it's important to show this because she's not the only person this happened to. And I actually think she's pretty brave to keep on trying. She must really believe in herself and whatever product she has. And I hope she does have success. And I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, they have to try many different things or try different avenues over and over, try something else, and they keep failing and they keep coming back. I think she has the right attitude. Totally honest.
Right.
I've seen so many entrepreneurs say, I failed at this and then I did this. I failed at this and then I did that. And they just keep failing and trying to find a solution to their problem, and they just keep on, keeping on. And then eventually something good happens. And that something good happens and they just run off with it.
Right.
This may or may not be her thing. Or even for those of y'all who are watching this, you may have a thing that you're trying to do and you might just be like, I keep failing. I'm going to try again. I'm going to keep failing. I'm going to try again. Sometimes you don't know what's on the other side of that hill. You might be on the brink of something.
Shit.
So I never want to discourage anybody who truly believes in themselves to stop. I definitely think she has the right attitude.
Well, we've officially hit.
I mean, you have the right attitude. For sure. It's a good mindset to have in the game. You know, never giving up. But also learning how to pivot is a very essential skill or tool that you need to have in your toolbox. Knowing that, like, you don't have to give up, but you need to try something else. Trying something else is not where the power comes in, because you're not just rotating in the same spot over and over again. You know, you're now moving side to side now. You know, you're trying to see what else works, what else can I do to get it working, get it moving. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to figure it out.
Bottom, if not close to it. So in the last 2 weeks, I've had maybe $3 or less, maybe $0. And yeah, things are just not going right. So long story short, there's a couple variables. First one is it's getting into the winter season. Grass isn't growing. People just don't want anything having to do with lawn care. Second, I'm currently I went through some defamation stuff. The ex wanted to get my business tied into it. So a lot of people drop me or just don't want to do business with me. Second, I came across a pressure washing company from a friend. He referred me. 3 days in, day 3, we lost the contract. So
man, and this about as real as it is. He got a lawsuit and his business pretty much about to get
it's a mental thing at that point.
Wrapped up in that lawsuit, allegedly. I don't know. Can't confirm nor deny. You also got to worry about being sued. People coming after your business assets and stuff like that when you have a business. Like, for example, if you own a gym, if somebody got injured at your gym, you don't think they're going to try to come after you? These things you have to think about.
Yeah.
They could slip and fall at your bakery. Now they want $1 million. Do y'all think about stuff like this? I'm serious. I don't even care if it's a clothing store. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm saying this so you can be aware of things you should consider.
You gotta double think and triple think, you know what I mean?
And what this tells you is it's very up and down. People aren't getting lawn care services done.
Right. So what else can you...
Weeds and stuff growing, grass growing crazy, probably dead, they ain't watering it. Trust me, I understand. I might be one of them people. That ain't the point. In certain businesses, it's very seasonal. Not only that, in some businesses, it depends on the economy. His depends on the weather. But just think about if you're in luxury services. Let's just say you're in hair care or something like that, cosmetology, the art of beautifying the girls. I don't know. Nail services. You think when people start going broke, for real, like when they're really going broke, that all of the luxury services are going to be filled? No. It depends on the economy. Just like his job depends on, hey, do I need this? Is there a demand? Because they ain't trying to be out there cutting no grass in the hot summer sun. Is it necessary? Does it need to get done?
No. It gets pushed to the side.
I asked the internet for help with my failing vending machine that I just bought.
And if sales is low, what do you gotta do? Pivot. You pivot. You find another service to offer. You find something else to do. You don't just stay there and it's like, well, things are not happening. No, you start thinking, okay, what else can lawn care business get into in the wintertime, right? Something like maybe what's it called? Street decoration and stuff like that. Like, bro, Christmas light decoration. Add that to your list of things that you could do. Add more skills. Damn, bro. People are just bitches out here, bro. Sorry.
About a month ago, and the internet did not hold back in telling me exactly what I'm doing wrong. I spent $3,500 on this vending machine about a month ago, and it is not making me any money.
Yeah, you have bad snacks. Nobody wants them crap.
To run this thing, then I'm actually making off of it. You guys let me know that I was putting all the wrong products in, and I needed to cater to kids and make my prices a little cheaper. The problem I'm running into now is I have all of this inventory that I overbought before I knew what I was doing. Well, I still don't know what I'm doing, but now I have all this inventory, and so I think I just have to let the vending machine kind of suck until I get rid of it, because I don't know what else to do with all of this stuff. I thought Alani's and Poppies and Ollipops were going to be a hit because...
What's the location? Sorry, what's the location? What's the location? You cater to the location. It's in the office space, and in the office space, some people want some drinks. Maybe they want energy drink because they're working. Or is it a school? They want snacks, they want candy, they want gummy wormies. Is it a shopping center? Sorry, some people are very slow, and they're slow, and they like to complain, and they use their slowness to complain. And when they do that, it's annoying.
I think that was my biggest mistake. I bought things that I wanted and...
Right? And that per audience matters. Who are you? Where do you have this thing at? It's a laundromat. What is the age range, demographic of these people? What is the culture of these people? Mostly Hispanics come here. Okay, shit, what do Hispanics like to eat and drink? Okay, mostly black people come here. What do black people like to eat and drink? Okay, mostly Africans come here. What do Africans like to eat and drink? Sometimes you gotta be a little racist to get it. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. You know what I mean.
Customer wants. So I'll just be drinking all of my Poppies and Alani's in quiet shame, hoping I make better purchases next time.
And this is
And just no research.
exactly what she's doing. She asked people outside of her own thoughts because she thought it was a great idea. Sometimes you actually think, I like this soda. Why don't everybody else like it? It's great. Girl, they ain't feeling that. I don't know what to tell you. They didn't like it. So now you got to go back to the drawing board. This is part of the process. The failure, and now she has to go back. This is what being a business owner really looks like. And this is on a smaller scale. And I'm not trying to discount her vending machine. But imagine if she owned a whole restaurant or something crazy. Or she had a warehouse full of stuff that she was trying to sell. It would be bad. Like, I got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff and it ain't moving. This is great.
Yeah.
She's seeing, hey, what is it that people want? Let me find something to where I can give them something they feel like they need.
Right.
And I'm adding.
Right. That's how it is. Right. Not to you. You gotta test things out.
Actually, just business. But once she get it right, that vending machine might be popping. She might have all sorts of money in there. I've seen vending machines full with so much different stuff, and it was very specific to the people.
Right, in that area, yeah.
If you're on a college campus, some of them are filling it up with more than just candy. They had stuff in there that college students needed.
Right.
And they were going to the vending machine.
Sorry, before she keeps going, bro, you don't know, man. Them scanners that you used to take test exams, bro. Someone put it in a vending machine, and I needed a test. I bought one. I bought one because I needed one. Smart guy. Shit, pencils, erasers. It doesn't have to be snacks. What are the people there? What do they need? What do they need? You better head. Sorry.
Those things out. You actually have to think about who is your customer, who are you trying to target, and have you done the market research that supports that they will buy if they see it. You know, the probability. You know, you really got to think about this sort of stuff. Nobody really cares what you like. I'm just being honest. They don't care that you like whatever brand of soda you like. If everybody in that building likes Jolly Ranchers and you hate it, that's what you put in the vending machine. It's not personal. And when she said she was just going to have her vending machine suck, I'm like, girl, just let it go.
Honestly, she should have done market research. She should have gone to each person in that location and asked them, what is a snack that you would like to see in the vending machine? It's not that difficult. I feel like people like try to make it as hard as possible because, yeah, of course, without experience, you don't know what you're doing. But you're supposed to go to everybody in that establishment that you put your vending machine at and ask them, what do they want? What is something that you would like to see in the vending machines? We like gummy wummies. I always want to buy gummy wummies, but it's always very far. Oh, I want energy drinks. I always want to get energy drinks, but it's at the gas station. But it would be nice if I can come here and get the energy drink. You are a micro gas station or, you know, corner store. So you gotta be in the mind of your customers, bro. You gotta play psychology right now. Psychology is very important in this game too, bro.
All that out. Give the people what they want. Matter of fact, do a survey of whoever these people is that's in this area. Do a survey and ask them, what would you like to see? Because the internet is very large of a place. You can ask your customers directly. Why? And this kind of looks like she's in some sort of laundromat because it looks like a washer off to the side.
Right.
Sit in the laundromat and say, hey, what would you like to, like if there's a group of people in there asking.
Maybe so.
If you were to get something from a vending machine, hypothetically, and if you keep seeing the same thing popping up, girl, stock it up.
Hey, stop putting that in. Bro, stop wasting money. People have money. They got money.
You got a better idea. This comment says, as a dude who owns 8 vending machines, the best advice I got was to put a sign on the vending machine asking customers what they want. That's smart. That's smart. Leave a clipboard if you want to go old school or make a QR code. Smart man. That goes to a Google Doc. They can type in what they want. It's literally a game changer. See, this is what I mean. You gotta know what they want. If they can scan it on the phone, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, bro.
They might not even write it, but if they keep coming there and they can make a request, and somebody here says, Business 101, never make decisions based on what you want when you're selling to others. Could care less.
Right.
So, I think she's gonna do well.
Nah, she's gonna figure it out.
Person that I know that's ran a successful business has thought to himself at one point, a 9-to-5 wouldn't be that bad. They'll have, and if you haven't, you have a hobby, you don't have a business. Because running a business is miserable. It's terrible. It's so lonely. It's so stressful. I love it, but it's miserable. People glamorize business owners as if it's this super awesome, nice lease. It sucks. It's miserable most of the time. The times where it's good, though, it's awesome, but it's most of the time. At least with a 9-to-5, you're getting a paycheck no matter what. I work most of the time for free.
And you want to know what's so funny about what he said? Somebody here said, misery loves a company. That's genius. I love it. Having a business definitely has its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everybody. But as hard as it is for a lot of people who do run businesses, I think a lot of them still wouldn't want a 9-to-5. I don't know. But I also think a lot of them don't mind it because they truly understand all the work and effort that goes into being the one who is in charge of everything. And if that's you, comment down below. And I need to know, how do you feel about being an entrepreneur? Do you think that is something that you could do? And how do you feel about being a business owner? Does being a business owner have too many downsides for you? Or do you think it's right up your alley and you can do it? But we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.
Go to the website you love.
Wow. Well. That was a very good episode, and it just basically shows you that a lot of people are still very much at their early stage of understanding their business, understanding business in a whole, right? You know what I mean? Like, for example, that girl with the vending machine, I mean, the answer was market research. You should have done some market research. She would have been a very successful vending machine person. The fact that she even got the vending machine, got the location, put the vending machine there. All you gotta do is just take all that shit out, and reload it with shit that people actually want. And if she could just do that, she'll be very well on her way to success with that vending machine. But anybody else that's over here complaining, right? It's true. Like, business is very complicated, right? There's a lot of moving parts to it that, you know, can get overwhelming, especially if you already have the mindset that you want to not do that much stuff. You just want to do what you're best at, you know, specialized, right? But if you have the mindset of like, you know what, I actually want to have more fun. I feel like if things are going crash, my emotions would be more calm, right? Business is best for you because you like the fact that there's something that you gotta put out, there's something that you gotta fix, there's something you gotta work on. Yes, it can be overwhelming and sometimes I'm very frustrating, but trust me, those are the things that gives you the joy, because when you figure it out and you solve the problem, now you always know how to solve that problem. You see what I mean? Now, when you end up helping your clients out and you see the effort that you put in and the success that you got from whatever you did, you know what I mean, they can actually you get a sense of fulfillment that's way more above the fact that, you know, you just getting, you know, paid for just, you know, doing a job or whatever. And I've had a job before, so I know how it feels to, you know, just go to work. And my job was fun, honestly, and I guess my job was a little different because it was like a startup, so it felt like we were all hands all in on running this business together. You know what I mean? We had to basically, I opened the media department. You know what I mean? I had my own department, which was the media department, because I was the only person that knew how to edit out of all the people they hired, right? So even with my minimal school of editing, I was still able to be the person they edited their commercials and stuff for their campaigns and stuff in the early days. So it just shows that like initially when you're building something, it's all hands on deck. You know what I mean? It's all hands on deck. Including all the people that you bring on with you to employ they're all hands on deck. So initially, you gotta, like, when you hire them, you gotta hire them with the all hands on deck mentality. Then you can now scale on from there to, like, okay, we train everybody on, like, for example, where I'm working with my people, it's only 3 of us. It's my mom, my dad, and I, right? It's only 3 of us, right? It's only us. So it's all hands on deck. Everybody got to do everything. You know what I mean? If I'm there, I got to get the water. If I'm there, I got to go, you know, get the stuff for the office. If I'm there, I got to go get, you know what I mean? I got to go get the printer or the papers, you know what I mean? It's all part of running the business on a day-to-day aspect of it. And initially, yes, you're the one doing all that shit until you learn how to hire somebody or how to manage your money to where you can hire other people to help you make the work more efficient so you can now scale. Because, man, business is tough, but it's fun if you figure it out. If you understand that it's all a learning curve, just like you learned that job that you got and they hired you to do that job, you know, correctly every time. The process that you use to learn that job till you got to the part where they trust you and they will pay you consistently to do your job. Same thing with your business. It's gonna take a process to learn, but if you learn it and you get over it, you will never forget it ever, and you always have that skill to be able to build something else and build more. Looking at Elon Musk, we keep wondering, how is he a billionaire? Well, yeah, because he's learned so much over the time that he's able to even run 5 different companies at once and then implement the same thing that he implements in one business into all of them. And then now that's what's making him a trillionaire, because he's able to multiply himself so many times. He's been able to do it one time and he's been able to do it over and over and over and over again. So it's, like I said, I feel like entrepreneurship is very worth it if you have the right mindset towards it. If you don't have the right mindset towards it, yes, you would definitely fail. And it's built like that for you to fail. That's why they don't teach it in school. Why they don't teach it in school? Because not everybody has the right mindset to want to take it on. You know what I mean? So if you have the right mindset to want to take it on, then you self-educate yourself. You want to go read a book. You want to pick up something to learn. You want to go take that course for your own self. It's not your mama and papa that will tell you to go take that course or to learn that shit. You have to want to do it yourself. And that's what's going to drive you and take you through the times where things are tough and when things do look very unpredictable. But as long as you have the heart of an entrepreneur, you will always win at the end, because at the end of the day, game is for you to win at the end. My name is Neola Ajax. I am your host, and I'll see you on the next episode.